because he just said some weird comment. He said that women brainwashed us. What makes you think a woman brainwashed me? How did a woman? What are you talking about? How did a woman brainwash me?
Well, I'm not just specifically saying you, but to say that I feel like this is such a small portion of men that we're speaking about. It's being spread out to a large variety. That is a statement that has been used to describe certain men, a small pocket of them that wasn't doing anything and became bitter and resentful. That's not the majority of us. The majority of us has been holding it down since the beginning of time, since we made the wheel and put it on a cart and made it roll. We've been doing what we need to do, and I understand and I support you. I support what you got going on because there's a flip side to every coin. But just remember, there's a lot of men out here, old, that have put in the work, that have done
Yeah.
it from the
And I'm not, and Jason, I'm not talking about those men. I'm talking about the men who haven't done the work, and that's the majority of men. So what I would ask you is, who should I listen to? Who should I listen to? Right? You tell me. Should I listen to men tell me the state of men? Basically, what I'm saying is, should I listen to men tell me how they are viewed in this world? Right? Their impact on the world. Should I listen to Jason? If I want to know what Jason has done in the world, should I listen to you or should I listen to the people you say you've impacted? Who will give me a more clear, honest picture of Jason's impact on the world?
the people that you have impacted will give
Okay.
you a clear
Okay. And,
picture.
and the people you have affected. Okay, cool. So once again, why am I listening to you tell me about what men have done since the dawn of time? Why wouldn't I listen to the children? Why wouldn't I listen to the women? The people who they're in? Because I was a child too. You were a child too.
I
Are we gonna sit here and lie and act like the
just beat me
people?
to
Hold
it.
on, Jason, hold on, brother. Are we gonna sit here and lie and act like the people who didn't cause us the most harm weren't men? Are we gonna sit here and act like it wasn't a man? Like, think about. I want everybody on this panel in the live.
It was
Close
white
your.
dudes,
Hold on,
bro.
Jason. Hold on, sir. Whoever is talking, please. What I want you to do right now is give me 30 seconds. Close your eyes and think about your the biggest problem in your life, right? Like I want it to be like a big problem, not something that's getting on your nerves. Whenever it was, think back. Think it could be now. It could be whatever it is. I want you to think about the biggest problem in your life, and I won't even say necessarily health related, but just outside of that, right? And then I want you to take 15 seconds to think about how did that problem become the biggest problem? Like at its core, who is responsible for that problem? And then what I want you to do is open your eyes and think of and then in your mind, what I'm thinking is I want you to come up with a face of the person that is at the core of this problem. And if I'm wrong or if I'm right, the face of that person is going to be the face of a man. I will almost guarantee you. I will almost guarantee you. If it's a money problems, it's a man. A man is at the root of that. No doubt about it. A group of men are actually. What problem? What's your biggest problem? Let me hear it. What's your biggest problem? You didn't grow up with a daddy? That's your daddy fault. You grew up poor? Probably your daddy fault because she probably wasn't providing enough for your mama and you. Let's keep going. I just keep going down the line. So I don't be understanding, like, why do y'all be sitting up here talking about saying stuff that we know is historically untrue? Men have been holding it down. What are you talking about? Men are the abusers. Men are the users. Men are the manipulators. What are y'all talking? Like, seriously, I'm very curious as to how can we be the people who are most likely to hurt and destroy people, right? But also be the people holding it down? How do you reconcile that?
Because we're the ones doing everything, because men have been the ones that have been predetermined to go out there and get it. So yeah, I agree with you, we are causing the most damage, but we are out there dealing with the most stress.
Hold on. Say that again and make it make sense.
All right.
Yes, we are causing the most damage. Do you realize that two things can be, hold on, Jason, two things cannot be, Jason, two things cannot be true at the same time, brother. We
All right.
cannot be
Who has been the
Jason, hold on, man. We cannot be the group of people that are causing the most harm while simultaneously being the people who are responsible for holding it down. Do you not see how that's not logical? Am I missing something? How is that logical?
All right. Who is the breadwinner? Who has been the one to go to work every day since the beginning? It's been men, right?
No.
The mother stayed home.
You guys have revision. You don't know anything
Women
about,
stayed
sir.
home.
Sir. Women hunted, women got food, women fought in wars, women did all the same things men did. So stop. So don't talk about the dawn of time. You don't know anything about the dawn of time. Let's just talk about this country. Let's go back 100 years. Let's start there. Can we just do the last 100 years,
All right,
please?
let's do the last 100 years then.
The last 100 years, okay. And what system? And what system has? Hold on, Jason. Hold on. Let's start. Let's start at the top. Let's start at the top. Let's start at the top, Jason. Is there a system? Was there and is there a system that was put in place that inevitably led to a power imbalance that favored men and disadvantaged and disenfranchised women?
Yes.
Okay. So, if that is the case, then whatever you're going to say about who was going out and working, wouldn't that automatically mean that whole point is moot? Because we didn't allow women to go out and work, even though black women were working. But we didn't allow women to own land. We didn't allow women to vote. Women had very little autonomy. So they were restricted. So if you set up society in such a way, right, where you force women to rely on men economically, and you force women to rely on men for their for survival, and then they do that, and then fast forward 100 years later, Jason gets up here and says, men have been holding it down for 100 years. You don't see how that doesn't make sense? You didn't allow them to do the things that they can. You told them they can't go to college. You said, men, you can go to college, women, you can't. You said, men, you can have a job, women, you can't. You said, man, you can own land and a house and property, women, you can't. You said, men, you said, women, you don't even have rights over your own body if you married your body as your husband's body, and they didn't change the law until like 1993. I was alive in 1993. I was listening to Jodeci in 1993. Matter of fact, what was you doing in 1993? You see what I'm saying?
I was doing the same thing.
Exactly.
You're not that much older than me. I see where you're going. There's a flip side to the coin. You're going with the law that they put in place to support your argument. All I'm telling you is that men, right, were the ones that went out there and they were the providers who were dealing with the most stress.
Okay, so you just literally you didn't hear what I just said. And this is what is kind of annoying, because if you were just going to repeat the same talking point, I should have just let you do that. But you do realize that your talking point doesn't make sense anymore. That's what I'm saying. You cannot set the system up in such a way that women are disadvantaged, men are advantaged, and then say men have all this stress. First of all, men didn't have more stress than women, by the way. They never have. They never have, and for the foreseeable future, they won't, right? Women have all the stress. Men put all of their stress onto women, actually. We project it onto women. Shannon did a live about this, one of my mutuals. Women internalize all the stress and pressure from men. Our external, so we get external pressures and stress from life, no doubt about it, because we're at work, blah, 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 right? But nowadays women work too, but neither here nor there. We have these external pressures and stress. We internalize them for a period of time, but we need to transfer that energy to somebody else because we can't handle it, right? So we go home, we talk to our moms, we talk to our aunts, we talk to our girlfriends, but we talk to the women in our lives because the men won't listen to you about this stuff, by the way. And we pass all of our trauma and all of our stress onto them. Now we're unburdened and they're burdened. And not only do they have to worry about our trauma and our stress, they still have their own. Are you going to tell me that that's not true? You gonna tell me men don't dump all that, men don't be pillow talking? Men, the only time men go to therapy is they think therapy is talking to their wife. They think therapy is talking to their girlfriend. Y'all gonna tell me I'm lying? I'm making that up, right? Because men love therapy. Men love going to get professional help. Men love getting on meds. Or do men like drinking and then talking shit to their girlfriends? You tell me.
So you don't believe that you're qualified to speak to a young man, to
Where you
educate
pivot?
and guide a young man?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I think I'm solid when it comes to giving advice to young men. Me personally, because I'm not a bitter old man. Actually, listen. Me personally, I actually listen, and I'm becoming more progressive the older I get, not less progressive. I'm becoming more open-minded the older I get, right?
Do you think in this day and age there are more older men, right, like ourselves, that these young men can look up to, that they can come to and get advice?
Do I think there's more of these men
Yeah.
than when?
Than, let's say, 100 years ago.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah, I do think men are slightly better for all intents and purposes than men 50 years ago, men 30 years ago. I do. Slightly better. But I mean, we were in hell though. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, we're slightly better. Cool. And the reason why I can say that is because we're forced to be better though. We have to be slightly better because society has progressed somewhat. You know what I'm saying? So same thing, white people, they're slightly less racist or whatever you want to say. They're still, you know what I mean? The system is still there though, that's the most important thing. The system is still in place.
Yeah, the system is still in place and it's
Yeah.
slowly changing. So when I was bringing up my talking point, because I understand where you were coming from, but I had to let you get out what you were saying. I'm relating more to now. I think that the old bitter men are dying off, and the men like you, the progressive ones, the ones that are more open-minded, are around for our young men to learn from, because regardless, they're going to have to learn from somebody. And I
That's
think there's more of us now than there are of these bitter old men. That's why I say these young men already can identify those old bitter old men, and they don't really indulge them too much.
that's the same logic we've been telling ourselves about racism, and it's not true. Sorry. So I really wish it was true, but it's not true. I promise you. If it were true, the world would look different. It's just not true. There are slightly more men who are slightly better. You know what I'm saying? Like, no doubt about it. There's slightly more men who are slightly better. There were always, it was never like all the men at any point in time were any one way. But there are, if 100 years ago it was 2% of men were like that, now it's 4% of men. You see what I'm saying? So it doubled. It's 100% better, but it's still terrible. It's still, the vast majority of men are not progressive. The vast majority of men are abusers or users or violent or whatever the case may be. The vast majority. Most of us on this panel, like, no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be real. I'm not saying you be laying hands on you. I'm not talking about that type of abuse for everybody. I'm saying, but neglect, manipulation, gaslighting, things of that nature. Right? So I'm gonna go